With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino. With cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details. With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino. With cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Welcome back, Ram fans. This is Rams Up, your favorite LA Rams podcast. We are proud members of the Fans First Sports Network. That's fansfirstsports.com. You can also follow us on YouTube. Our channel is at LA Rams Up. I'm your host, Mark. You'll hear from my co-host, Tom, on occasion as well. Hey, we're not Rams insiders. We're just longtime fans who love talking about our Los Angeles Rams. Let's get to it. Hey, welcome back, everybody. We got the roundtable here for the episode. Hopefully, you've all been waiting for our final mock draft, and it's going to be all four of us: Ian, Tom, Paul, and myself. What's going on, Tom? You ready to go?
I am ready. And I can't wait to see how this pans out.
Yeah, and Paul is on board for our 374th mock draft. No, actually, I think it's our 14th mock draft. And I know you're ready.
I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yeah,
shout out to the Ramley.
And Ian, this is the first time you've done a mock draft with us, but I'm sure you're pretty well seasoned on the first few rounds, right? You ready to go too?
I am ready to go. And gentlemen, it's draft week. Man, oh man, is this week going to be incredibly impactful for the near future, right? The Stafford window we keep talking about, and even the post-Stafford era. I mean, golly, this is a big week for Rams football for many reasons, and I'm excited to see what we're going to do.
For all of you guys watching watching on YouTube, Ian is in the Rams draft house. He got there early, and he's in one of the back rooms. He snuck in to film. So
yeah, man. I mean, so I'm an LA native. You know, I'm not too far from Hermosa, and after work, I was like, let me go stop by. I had a long weekend celebrating some good things with friends. I was like, let me see what's going on there. Doors was open. Decided to set myself up, and we'll film here.
Perfect.
The janitorial staff may be chasing you out any moment, though, right?
I know. You know what I mean? Look, if I can talk to Kroenke, I think he'll be okay with me being in here for a little bit. And hey, rocking the Super Bowl jersey. I see some Super Bowl gear in the back there. And man, oh man, let's get another one based off this draft, huh?
Let's do it. Okay, so what we're going to do this episode is we're going to go all 7 rounds. The first few rounds, we're going to discuss and decide amongst us who the Rams draft pick should be. And as we get deeper into the draft, we may just start taking turns. We'll see how it goes. No rules. We didn't rehearse this, just shared some ideas on how this might go down. And let's do it. I'm going to share this mock draft database and hit set for 7 rounds, and we'll kick it off. We'll see how it goes. And if it goes off, as we've done in the past, if it goes off really unrealistic, we'll just restart it. But let's see, we're kicking it off. Let's go. And you can see the pick scroll across the top there. Saw some wide, I think I just saw Brian Thomas go already. And I'll keep you guys on the pod abreast of. We're going to reject all trades, by the way. We're just going to go with the picks the Rams have. And for you listeners, I'll share the top players for you. Still available. Dallas Turner, the edge rusher. Brock Bowers, the tight end. Cornerbacks, Quinyon Mitchell and Terrion Arnold still there. And then Layatu Latu, the edge rusher. Byron Murphy, the defensive lineman. And Talis Fuaga. And I'll leave it at that. There are some really good options there. Not sure if those top 2 guys would still be there, but I'm not sure the Rams would be interested in them. What are you thinking, Paul? What do you think of this board right now?
I'm loving this board right now. So, I mean, there's so many different options here between Iron Byron. You got Latu. You got Dallas Turner. So there are a lot of really good options there. You know, Brock Bowers is a phenomenal prospect as well. Integrating him into the office will be the question. We've talked about that, how much trouble they've had integrating the second tight end for the last couple of years. So I don't know how viable that would be, but this board is stacked. If the Rams stumbled onto this, this would be money right here.
Yeah, gentlemen, if this happened in real life, oh my God, sorry, Mark. I mean, this is insane. Yeah. If this happened on Thursday, I would be losing my mind in a great way.
Yeah, so we can do.
Turner, I mean, anyway, we already said the names. Like, I hope this happens. This is a great spot to be in. Anyway, apologies.
And the offensive tackle Fuaga too, man.
Yeah, should I restart this, or should we just ignore those top 2 or 3 guys? We've done that in the past.
I think we could roll with it. Let's roll with it. I mean, why not? We're already good. Yeah.
Well, I think that. Well, I don't know, Ian. On this board, who would you select?
Oh goodness gracious! So, based off this board, based off the need, based off the Rams' need, I should say, and fighting against probably McVay's quivering excitement that Brock Bowers is there, right? I'm sure he would be watering at the mouth. But I think if I had to choose one player based off this scenario right here, golly, I got to go Layatu Latu. I just have to do it. I have to do it. Why? Number 1, we need edge desperately, clearly. Number 2, let's just be honest about it. He's a UCLA guy, easy to market. More people will jump on the Rams and support them. And let's not act like Kroenke and ownership doesn't think of those things with these draft selections. Come on now. Number 3, he's the most ready-to-go edge rusher in this draft. At the minimum, I think he'll be a 5 sack guy every year, 6 probably. I think he'd get 6 every year minimum. Do we want to do what Jacksonville did when they took Trayvon Walker, number 1? Based off, the hope, based off his measurables, based off the athletic freak? Or do we go with the Hutchinson guy who we know is going to be solid at a minimum? And as of right now, Hutchinson's better. So I think based off the scenario, could we have gone Dallas Turner based off the measurables? Sure. I know a lot of people like Chop Robinson based off the athletic and the measurables. Sure. But I want to go with the guy who's going to help us win now, who I know can start right when he walks in the building. And he's just the best pass rusher. I don't think that's even a question. Layatu Latu for me.
Okay, that's a very good argument. Very good argument. Tom, how do you feel about it, Tom?
Yeah, I'm with Ian. I'm on Latu. Brian Murphy would be a close second. I mean, I love these cornerbacks, obviously, but I mean, we already made our bed with the corners. We have desperate needs in other places. We have the best, in my opinion, the best edge here. I'm already on record as saying Dallas Turner is going to drop, and according to this mock he just did, he's going to be the guy in the room sitting there going, "What just happened?" But yeah, I mean, I you know what? I'd take Dallas Turner all day if we were going to the Olympics, and he could do the triple jump, and he could do the high jump, and he could do all those things. I'll take Dallas Turner all day long. The dude can bring it in the Olympics.
I know.
But no, in the measurables. But we're playing some football here, and Latu's got the package. He started all his games at UCLA. I don't think the neck thing's as big of a deal as other people think it is. And to get the best edge rusher in the draft at number 19 is really, quite frankly, unheard of. So I'm going with Latu.
Okay, Paul, your opportunity to get Latu off the Rams here. If you feel like there's another player and I back you up on it, we can have a extend our argument. How are you feeling? Is there someone else you'd like other than Latu in this spot?
Well, I mean, there's three players, but I mean, I think Latu makes a lot of sense. You get edge is the primary position. You get it handled this early in the draft. It opens up options, so many options. If this actually did happen, the board fell like this, the Rams would definitely trade back, because you trade back 4 spots, 5 spots, you're still going to walk away with the player you want. But yeah, I think Latu makes a lot of sense. The fact he's a UCLA player, like Ian said, we have spoken about that. Guys from USC, UCLA, Rams have to do a better job of bringing them in. Fans love that. It's really between Iron Byron and Latu, really, in this scenario of who's going to have the best impact. You can always get D-line in the next round, or wide receiver, however they want to attack it. But I think Latu makes a lot of sense. We're going to assume that the medicals came back okay. But Latu is the most pass rush ready. He's got the counter moves. He's got the primary moves. He plays with a high motor. At this point, apart from the medicals, there's no real negative to taking Latu.
Okay, so I have 3 reasons why I'm in agreement with you guys. And one of them, Paul, you stole my thunder. We've done this enough times to know that there are going to be defensive linemen available in the 2nd and 3rd round that we were really excited about as well. Edge, not so much. The second thing you guys already mentioned, he's ready to play at the NFL level, I think. And the third thing, I was thinking about this the last couple of days when I look at this group of players. Who would you most be disappointed the most with if Seattle or San Francisco were to draft one of these guys? And to me, it's Latu. If Latu ended up on one of those teams, I would not be happy. If they got a cornerback or a tight end or Dallas Turner, I could get over that. But Latu, I just see him as being an impact player for many years. So I guess we all agree. That surprises me. But the picks Latu. The picks Latu.
Especially given how many choices we had, including Dallas Turner.
And real quick, to Paul's point about the trade back, 100% that's what would probably happen. I agree. If this how the draft unfolded by our pick 19, I mean, because we can acquire, let's say, maybe an extra 3rd, an extra 2nd, maybe an extra
Dallas at 24. Think about that. Dallas sitting at 24. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could totally see that happening. I mean, Quinton Mitchell, let's just be honest about him for a second. He's easily the best corner. I mean, Rams would be tempted to get him because, like we've talked about the future of the corner position being, shaky. Williams on a 2-year deal. If things don't go well with Tre'Davious White, it's only a 1-year deal, and he would be a starter. He would compete probably to supplant Tre'Davious White, truthfully, if we were to draft him, and he would be somebody that would be highly considered based off the need and the future needs. I mean, hey, like I said, more options, better problems for the Rams, and we'll see if something like this happens on Thursday, but wow.
Okay, I'm going to make the selection. Here we go. We have drafted Latu, and we will press on to the 52nd pick. I was expecting a better argument than that, but hey, that's okay.
And while we wait for this to get going here, with Latu and the neck issue, I mean, guys, are we trying to hope he's a great player for 15 years? Or are we trying to win another Super Bowl within the next 3 years?
Exactly.
In this window,
that's true.
Right? And I've heard the
You want to
argument.
take advantage of that rookie contract. That's the whole idea. You're
Yeah,
absolutely right. Get 2 or 3 shots at it.
And I just think Latu gives us the best chance today, this season, and the next to be able to get that bowl with Stafford under contract, right? And a cup and whoever else, Haven signed. And so, the other veterans that are on the squad. Anyone else, we got to hope. We don't got to hope with Latu. If all things are healthy in the neck, right? That's the point. So, okay.
We are on the 52nd pick. I'll read off some of the top players here for those listening. Interior offensive lineman Zach Frazier, offensive tackle Kingsley Suamataya, wide receiver Xavier Leggett. I know a lot of people love him. Linebacker Peyton Wilson. And this is what I'm talking about. This is what I think Paul alluded to as well. 2 defensive linemen, Braden Fisk and Chris Jenkins, staring at us in the face here. Running back Jonathan Brooks, and another defensive lineman, Michael Hall. So some good options there. Now, if there's a position any of you would like me to filter by to make sure we're not missing someone maybe a little bit lower that you'd be interested in, or I think I know who I would pick in this spot. You want me to go first?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, so I think Braden Fisk just fits what the Rams have been doing for the last several years. A guy that really stood out at the Senior Bowl, a difference maker. They need defensive linemen so bad. Now I'd be tempted to go wide receiver. I don't feel strongly about this. I can be talked out of it, but off the top of my head, looking at this group, Chris Jenkins would be a great option too. But I'm going to say Braden Fisk, and I don't feel, again, real strongly about it. Tom, you want to go next? Who are you thinking about?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely a Chris Jenkins over Braden Fisk guy for sure. Like, I think, there's a lot of people that have him as the 3rd defensive lineman after Murphy and Newton, and I'm in agreement. I mean, that guy just blows it up. He played at the highest level. Obviously Fisk did too, but yeah, boy, if we could get Latu and Jenkins, wow, I'd be, everything else would be gravy almost, so because you got to hit those early picks. So
no,
100% Jenkins for me.
Okay, I'm trying to mix up the order here. Let's have Paul go next, and we'll have Ian wrap things up at the end here.
The 2 choices for me would have been between Leggett and Jenkins. Jenkins is definitely the number 3 D tackle, no question about it. And for what the Rams need, Jenkins fits the bill. And you need somebody strong on that side because that's the run-heavy side, because the conductor's probably going to take AD's spot. So that's why. And Jenkins' strength is playing the run, and as his pass rush skills develop. So I think Jenkins is the fit. Getting the X-Man and taking care of that wide receiver scenario, he would be the perfect 4th wide receiver to bring in. Think about it. He's not going to argue about getting all these touches. He's a big physical receiver. He's working on his routes and everything else. Coach Yarbrough will do work with this kid. And this kid is probably, a lot of people don't realize he was in a vicious motorcycle accident. And at one point, he had gravel embedded in his face, and just putting on the helmet was excruciating. And people have not talked about how tough that receiver is. And I'll go on record to say, I'll go on record as saying that the X-Man is no joke. And if he winds up on the Rams, Coach Yarbrough is going to turn that kid into an all-pro. So, but I'm a defensive guy, so I'm going to go Jenkins.
Okay, 2 for Jenkins. I said Fisk, but I was kind of vanilla on it. What do you got, Ian?
Man, let me see the entire D-line group. I'm curious if there's somebody on. I just want to see who's available.
So we got Fisk, Jenkins, Michael, Hall, Rook, or Horo.
Yeah, you can keep it at the top right there. Yeah, you can keep it at the top there. I was just curious to see everybody there.
Even Wingo down there, 105 ranked player overall.
Wingo.
Yeah,
I do like the Clemson guy, Rook, as well. I like this film as well.
Rook is a beast.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, I have that in mind. Do me a favor. Go to the wide receiver. I'm just curious.
Wide receiver, Leggett, Jalen McMillan, Javon Baker, Devontae Walker.
Go ahead. Scroll down a little bit more for me. Let me see here.
So there's the argument for Leggett. Look at the drop off at wide receiver.
Yep.
Leggett's the last one in the top 50, and then you could still pick up a quality DT in round 3. So there's the argument that somebody could make for Leggett. Either way, they're both valid arguments. Fisk is a great pickup as well. So.
Yeah, for me, based on the board here, and exactly, Paul just stole the words out of my mouth. I was going to say the exact same thing. My argument's going to be Xavier Leggett. Why? Let's just look at the roster, configuration of us. Tutu Atwell on an expiring deal. Ben Skoranek on an expiring deal. DeMarcus Robinson on an expiring deal. Cooper Kupp, we don't know the health if that's going to work out for a full season. It's been a while, right? And because of that, replenishing that's going to be eventually need to be had very, very soon in this draft or, free agency and so forth, I'm going to say Xavier Leggett. Now, what is good about him? I mean, he uses his size fantastic. He's very capable at any of the blocks that are going on in the run game, be able to fight off defenders, get open. I mean, he runs solid routes. To Paul's point earlier, I mean, Coach Yarb is going to transform him. All that raw skill he has, he's going to get refined beautifully in this offense. So based off all that, based off how much that drop-off there is, my argument Xavier Leggett for the now and the future.
Let's take a look at to see if we can get Paul or Tom to change their mind. Let's look at what defensive linemen we might have available if we wait on defensive linemen. There's some guys that could really contribute. We could get 2 guys later on. Paul, Tom, are you steadfast in defensive line, Jenkins?
I mean, I am. I think that if we can get, in my mind, the number 1 edge and the number 3 defensive lineman, and after all of those conversations we had going through the depth chart and everything else, right? We need to plug those holes, man, and they got to be ready to roll. We can't be, oh my God, we ran into a 3rd rounder that happened to be great, like Kobe or Byron. And so I'm just feeling like, and I like Leggett, but like I don't think he's like going to be a massive difference maker, like some superstar or whatever, like in like a Rome or somebody. So, if we're having this conversation about one of the top guys, then but I just don't think we are.
Okay, this is what we're going to do then, and unless Paul is changing his mind, we're going to take Jenkins here, and I'm going to give intern Ian the opportunity at any point to overrule everybody and make an ensuing pick. Is that fair?
Mark, what was your pick? Mark, what was your pick?
Pardon?
Oh, Fisk. Okay, got it.
It was Fisk.
Yeah.
It was Fisk. Okay.
So I don't want to. We could probably discuss this for an hour.
But I'm in favor of that being the D lineman from Michigan, Chris Jenkins. I have no problem with that. I just think just based off the wide receiver need that will eventually just come to pass, just based off the reality we live in.
Yeah,
I think Leggett and the drop off after that is so significant. Because I think hopefully we'd be able to get the Rook Orobro. Sorry, I can't say his full name correctly ever. I would be happy.
Welcome to my world.
We'll see what happens. I know, but I have no issue in agreeing with everybody.
Okay.
Community join.
Oh, then I retract my offer of letting you.
We
talk it out here. That's how we do it. We talk it out.
It's good. I agree. I think it's a good point Paul made and Ian made about Leggett. I just don't think he's that much of a difference maker to say, you know what, let's forego the number 3 DL in favor of getting a guy that could be the next. I don't think he's a lock for the next wide receiver superstar in the Rams.
I think the other way you could look at it is if we're going all in to win today, who is going to give us the best chance to win today?
100%.
And if you make from that argument, then you have to go. You got to go big dog.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go
YOLO, Ian. YOLO.
That's right. No, I totally agree. It was just more of like more. No,
it's a good
shoot. Who's the draft later?
Okay.
No, it's a good alternative.
But Ian keeps that wild card in his back pocket. He can make a pick. So we'll go ahead and draft a Jenkins, and we have. I think we'd be pretty happy with this right here, Latu and Jenkins, and feeling a little bit better about our defense.
Look at that! They even give us an A+ on the board.
Nice. Yeah. No, I feel good about it. There's no doubt.
When we get A+, we draw attention to it. When we get C-, we minimize the screen.
Then what do they know?
And the most important thing is that Ram Nation gets to hear the rationales for every pick. That's the key.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I got this on all still.
And there's Rook.
There we go.
There's Rook. Now you could go a lot of different ways here. I'm going to throw out some positions. I still think we need interior offensive line depth. I think we need a safety. You can never have enough cornerbacks or wide receivers. Let's take a look at wide receivers. And I don't know if there's anybody. Luke McCaffrey's there a little bit later.
Yeah, Brendan Rice, just to piss off 49er fans and keep an LA guy in town. That's definitely on the board for sure. The Rams would probably consider that.
Safeties, Jaden Hicks and Cameron Kitchens.
That's the dude right there, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't. Does anyone want to?
Let's look at Edge too. Let's look at Edge too. I'm curious to see who's there. But go ahead and read the top.
I forgot to read off the top for listeners. The top four guys are Rook or Horo, defensive line out of Clemson, Braylon Trice, edge out of Washington, Jaden Hicks, safety out of Washington State, and Patrick Paul, the offensive tackle out of Houston. You want to look at edge?
Yeah, I was just curious.
There's if we drafted Jonah Ellis, that would quiet down the YouTube channel comment section for a few days. But let's not do that.
Okay, so let me just ask the group, what is our we have our edge, right? We have an edge, we got Byron across, we're good. We fill the gap on the defensive line. What's our next biggest need? If we were looking at need, what would be our next biggest need? What did we identify?
Well, in my opinion, it's offensive line depth. I don't think we need to draft anybody that's going to start. We need an interior offensive lineman that can back up a couple positions. Then maybe safety, maybe another defensive lineman as well.
Yeah. I mean,
those are my thoughts. You can disagree with me.
Can you go back to the all board? Yeah. So we're looking at. So we got a defensive lineman. Another edge. Whew.
What are you thinking, Paul? You're quiet over there. You must have something in your back pocket.
Listen. If you want to win in this league, you got to the way to win is you got to dominate up front. And I'm bringing in another big dog.
I'm with you.
I'm going row. That's how you say it. I'm putting that big dog next to Jenkins. I'm putting the conductor on the other side. I'm telling Latu, go get it. I'm telling Monster Zero, go get it. I'm saying, listen, when we come after it, it's going to result either in a sack or a rush throw. We're going to control the line of scrimmage. Nobody will be able to run on us either. And we're gonna let the offense do its thing and light up the scoreboard like a pinball machine.
I couldn't agree more. If we could end up with Rook and and Jenkins and
let the board come to you. And at this point, the board has fallen in their favor, man. Think about that rotation. Look what the rotation would look like. And Mark, remember when we did this? We did Iron Byron and Chris Jenkins the first two picks, and remember what that draft looked like? That mock was ridiculous. So if you think about it, we would have Rook, Chris Jenkins, the conductor, Bobby Brown, and then you throw in two other bodies, whatever they are. Man, I could rock and roll with them. You might even put Michael Hoyt, let him play some end. There you go.
Okay, Ian, you in disagreement here? You got you got a different idea?
Nope, no different idea, because this is the exact scenario I was hoping for. If I had taken Leggett, right? So I just think based off everything our friends, everyone here said, I mean, geez Louise, this is the group we need the most of, right? And the more, the better, because Bobby Brown will be leaving. Speaking of an expiring deal and someone who hasn't played a lot due to health, other reasons. And I just think the more we can get good players that are in that top 5, top 6 category of the class, the better off we'll be. So Rook from Clemson, I think that's the way we should do it.
Okay, before we do that, I'm not opposed. I want to look at the safety, what's on the board here. There's still some good players. We can get one later. An interior offensive line. I think there's some guys there that Paul likes.
And by the way, Jaden Hicks, that dude playing center field for the Rams, dude is a beast. He and Curl, man, that would be just straight fire.
We need a safety. East isn't going to cut it.
Okay, so and Rook is the highest guy on the board, and we're drafting him.
The big dog.
This is
the Nigerian nightmare part 2.
This is the 83rd pick overall, by the way.
Nice.
And then we have another one at 99, courtesy of Raheem Morris. And I think we're done with defensive line for a little while, I hope. And we have, let's look at our selection so far. We've really improved our up front here on defense for a couple of years, perhaps. And we haven't picked an offensive player yet. And the top players on the board are a wide receiver, Jalen McMillan, a running back, Marshawn Lloyd, safety, Cameron Kitchen, safety, Kalen Bullock, and linebacker, Jeremiah Trotter. What are you guys thinking here? You want me to do any filtering for a position? We're due to draft someone on offense, aren't we?
Yeah,
or do we look at it like that?
Let's take a look at wide receiver. Let's do it. Let's see what's available here.
So we got McMillan, Burton, Washington, Wilson, Rice, Cowing, Thrash, and McCaffrey, and Ananias Smith. I mess his first name up every time.
For nearly 4 decades, J&K Security Solutions has provided protection for homes and businesses. I know firsthand. I'm Jeff Beckman, and with my wife Kim, we started J&K Security Solutions. Our attention to detail, service after the sale, and product knowledge are the foundation of our success. J&K Security has routinely been recognized as the best of Madison for security companies. We expect that trend to continue as the next generation, our son Jeffrey, takes over as president. Let us protect what is valuable to you. jksecurity.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com. Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com. Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com. Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Mark, this is number 83. What are we picking now?
This is 99. This is the end of the third round.
This is 99.
This
So
is
then
our
the one
fourth
after
pick.
99 is what? 150, right?
I think we have the back-to-back 154, 155 in the fifth round.
Okay, so 99, gentlemen.
It's really sad when you
back 150.
It's really sad when you've memorized all the picks.
Yeah.
Hey, that's real Ram work right there, baby. Come on.
I can't remember my wife's birthday, but
let's look at some safety too while we're at it. I'm curious to see what that group looks like.
Yeah, I agree.
Cameron Kitchens, Kalen Bullock, Dadrian Taylor Demerson is a guy I like. Tyke Smith is one of Paul's Puka Power picks. Is Malik Mustafa one of your guys too, Paul?
Yep, Mustafa is as well.
And Sione Vaki. Don't get Paul started on Sione Vaki. Bo Braid.
That's our backup running back,
Taylor.
man.
Yeah, Trey Taylor is Ed Reed's cousin, by the way. I learned that last night.
Can you go up to the top there? Cameron, who we got? Kitchens?
Kitchens, Bullock, Taylor Demerson. Now, the word on Bullock, I think what I've gathered from doing this several times is he's not necessarily a tackling machine. That would be a concern with him. Is that accurate, Paul?
Yeah, that's been the knock on him. But you know what? The kid is a big play machine, and they let him play center field for that reason. A lot like Jalen Simpson from Auburn, same way. A tall, wiry kid. But, same thing. Kalen, hits the weight room, the good NFL food, the kid's going to put on weight, but the kid makes big plays, and that's what McVay and Ashula are probably looking for in the back end. They're going to let Curl be aggressive, but you need somebody to patrol that deep middle. So Bullock and Kitchens both, I think, would be good fits. Bullock, though, like I said, Kitchens didn't have a great workout. A lot of people were down on him, but Kitchens, before the combine, Kitchens was in the top 50. He was ranked the top safety in a lot of people's boards. So
interesting.
Okay,
and he is a beast of a player as well.
Yeah, I feel like I agree with you. I mean, he's dropped. Sometimes these guys that drop, they get that inertia and they keep going down, and then all of a sudden they're just a great pick. I mean, what pick are we at? What round are we in?
99th pick overall, end of the third round. This is the Raheem Morris comp pick.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, he's third round all day long, and I mean, that'd be a nice pickup. I just the Rams, I guess we're looking at what we would do. The Rams certainly. When was the last safety they drafted in the third round?
Let me wrap in a second. Go ahead, Ian.
I'm going to put that vote for Cameron Kitchens. I sat here and thought about it. This is totally a Shula-esque move. He's the one who battles for safeties. And look at Cameron Kitchens, first team all ACC. So the dude can play some ball, right? I mean, he tied, I think, Division I football with 5 interceptions. So he's getting to the ball, getting takeaways, which is, we need that, right? Think about it.
It would be a nice change of pace for our safeties to get to the ball.
Right. And then he was tied, I think he was one of the best in the nation with pass breakups as well. All things that we need more of. And Shula being a safety guy who fought the table to get John Johnson, who fought the table late to get Jordan Fuller at pick 199 once upon a time. So I can see him doing the same thing here, especially if he's still up there late in the third. So my vote based off coaching, based off his play, the value, I'm going to go with Cameron Kitchens here.
Okay, we got a vote for Kitchens.
Kitchens, sorry, I keep saying Kitchens.
Yeah, that's fine. What are you thinking, Paul?
For me, it's going to be. I'm thinking. I want to take a running back to pair with Iron Kyron, and we've been doing this. I've been taking Lloyd, or the other kid's gone already, but there, Wright is the other one. But, he's flying up the boards. So I just think for the value to get a running back like Marshawn Lloyd at pick number 99, I don't think he'll be there at 99, tell you honestly. But for all the things that we've been talking about in that ground game, sort of to force McVay's hand to run the ball a little bit more, Lloyd does everything that complements Iron Kyron. he could bounce it to the outside, and when he gets it to the outside, it's a track meet. I know there are a lot of somebody was sending me all these negatives about Marshawn Lloyd. I'm like, yeah, but those are the same negatives they said about Puka too, right? And they always find something to say. The bottom line is when Marshawn Lloyd gets the ball to the outside, it's a wrap. We don't need him to carry the ball 300 times. We need him to supplement Iron Kyren, especially just as like we're saying, we're taking it 1 year at a time. I think he's the kind of back that would be willing to sit behind Iron Kyren. And listen, every time there's no drop off, Iron Kyren goes to the sideline. This kid spells him. There's no drop off. Defense got to stay on its toes. How many teams could say that? And with this passing game, and you want to protect Matt Stafford, the best way to protect him is with a neck snapping ground game. And also, let's take advantage of that front that we spent so much money on, and let's do it with a two-headed monster.
Okay,
and
we got
two.
So we have
I get it.
So we have an argument for the safety and an argument for the running back. And Tom, where are you coming down on this?
Yeah, can we look at the O line or the tackles?
The tackles.
Yeah.
Christian Jones, Matt Goncalves, Javon Foster, Walter Rouse. Goncalves is one of Paul's Puka Power picks. Christian Jones.
From Long Island.
Yeah, those guys are later round picks though. So there's nobody there. I mean, I think the to me, if you look at the highest need plus best value on the board, it's Kinchins, right? We need another safety. We don't technically need another running back, and we can get another one later if we needed a star running back right now, if we were rocking with pissed off Cam Akers, I'd be like, okay, let's roll. But we don't need that. We don't need a number one running back. We're going to get a starting safety to play next to Cam, and we need it bad. Like, we don't have anybody to play back there with right now, and that's just how it is. So I'm all about Kinchins in this pick for that reason.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards the safety too, Paul. I just don't know if Marshawn Lloyd is really going to get the ball. The reason I would draft him is as insurance if Kyren gets injured, which is, he does get banged up. He's missed a lot of games. So I have to apologize, Paul. I'm going to side with these guys.
Kinchins fits the center field model. And like I said, he was a top 50 pick at the beginning of the draft. The kid is a beast. Kid is an absolute playmaker.
Yeah, we're going to go double Cameron at the safety, right? Cameron Curl, Cameron Kinchins.
Cam.
Oh, boy.
That's just how it's going to go.
Okay. So you're okay with that, Paul?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm defense. If it was up to me, every pick would be defense.
Okay. So that's the pick. We've gone 4 defense. And I should give Paul
rounds 5 through 7. Rounds 5 through 7 are for the offense.
Let's see how
so
it
that's
goes.
our pick so far.
Look at shout out to the database here giving us the nice grades. I mean, I would feel that way too if this is how it actually unfolded. I mean, we address all the spots that we were hoping to, not feel worrisome about, right? And gosh, those are all starting caliber players in the first 3 rounds, I think. Sure.
Yeah, and
154, 155, you can go offense. You can go wide receiver, running back now. Because 154 and 155 in this, with this draft engine anyway, every time we have done it, 154 and 155 has had quality players.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Tom?
No, I would just say that we're just filling gaps that we need, and this would be
immediate contributors.
Immediate contributors in areas that we need. It's not like, they're going to compete for the job. There's going to be these guys are, if they're as good as advertised, they got a spot. We need them there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and the only reason we're getting a B+ here from our experience with this database is because we already drafted a defensive lineman. If we had drafted a different position at 52, they probably would have given us an A+ for Rook there, if you care. So we're back.
We're doing great. Forget them.
Yeah.
whoever them is over there.
No summer school for us.
Yeah.
let's see. We got we're on the 100 and we got back to back here, 154 and 155. And the top rated players for you listeners: Cam Hart, the cornerback; Gabriel Murphy, edge; Jacob Cowing, wide receiver; Jarvis Brownlee, cornerback; and Marquise Irving. He goes by Bucky? Is that the running back out of Oregon? So I don't know where to go here. Is there some? I don't think we want to go cornerback or edge here at the top, or do we?
Gabriel Murphy is intriguing, though. I'll tell you that, though, for him being around at this time.
That's the UCLA bookends all over again, right?
I mean,
that's right.
Hey, so that's intriguing right there. He was obviously an honorable mention for all Pac-12 team. He had 8 sacks as well, and they could say, "Oh, that's a Latu effect," right? But he was productive. I mean, shoot. So that's intriguing. This is, right off the bat, just seeing that name. And then I guess who's that running back now? Because that is something to always draft and always be on the lookout for.
And wide receiver. Take a look at wide receiver and running back.
Yeah.
McCaffrey. If McCaffrey's there, we should go McCaffrey. Darn it. All right.
Taj. All right. And then let's see what running back again.
Yeah, the wide receivers are Cowing, Thrash, and Anaya Smith. Taj Washington out of USC. What was the other position, Ian? Running back?
Running back. Yeah, let's see who's there for that one.
That's
there.
Tyrone Tracy.
Oh, you just talked about him, didn't you?
Yeah.
And Dylan Lobby, Kamani Vidal, Blake Watson.
Let's go down a little bit more. Let's see.
Dylan Johnson, Jace McClellan, Dejon Edwards, Kendall Milton, Frank Gore Jr., another 49er connection.
Bucky Irving right there?
Yeah, Bucky Irvin's the top rated running back.
Oh, man. That would be crazy. See, I'm all about him. I don't know. I mean, I did not plan on going running back this early, but how about let's just focus on what we just look at what we were kind of came in here with our shopping list. Let's look at that offensive tackle depth real quick, if you don't mind.
You want to talk about the board, offensive tackle board here?
Yeah, let's just see who's on the offensive tackle there.
Goncalves, Javon Foster.
They really drop fast, don't they?
Garrett Greenfield is a guy that we have mocked to the Rams a couple of times. Probably a little early for him.
Yeah, it's very early for him. There's really nobody when Calvez.
Yeah, he's very reminiscent of Havenstein.
Who's that? Which
the kid from Pitt.
Goncalves.
Yeah, Goncalves, I think he's an intriguing prospect. I like him. I think right now
pretty early, isn't it?
Yeah, we need some offensive punch somewhere. I was hoping McCaffrey was going to be around. He would have been perfect for the slot.
Yeah, I would have agreed with that selection if he was around as well.
Can you go to interior offensive line real quick?
Just so you know, according to this board, Goncalves is, he's the 132nd ranked player on this board, and we're at 154. So
yeah, he got injured. That hurt his ranking this year. He got injured. He missed a bunch of games.
Mm-hmm.
This is interior offensive line.
Yeah, interior Hunter Norzad. Paul drafted him just last night. Layden Robinson is on his Puka Power picks. Both of them are all these guys, these top 4 guys. This is right about where they would get drafted. Isaiah Adams out of Illinois, Satua Lamia out of Utah. That's they're
Hunter. Hunter solves 3 spots, both guards and center. That's what he can play. With great efficiency.
Yeah, and the point I've been trying to make is I know it's not glamorous to draft interior offensive linemen, but we remember what happened a couple of years ago when our guys started dropping, and if we don't have guys we can plug in, it all falls apart. It really does.
This is 5th
the
round.
The philosophy is to keep Zach Thomas as far away from the starting lineup as possible. That's the rationale for taking the interior lineman.
So I'm going to go on record right now and say I don't care who. I'm voting for an interior offensive line.
Interior lineman. What's in quarterback? Check corner.
Corner?
Yeah, corner.
Cam Hart,
Cam Hart.
Jarvis Brownlee,
Ooh,
Kalen Carson, Jerry Jones. Our buddy MJ Devonshire is still probably a round away.
Jamari Thrash at wide receiver too. He's intriguing too.
I have no problem with going O-line based off of our needs and everything else, gentlemen, if everyone's in agreement with that. I just think based off the depth and not wanting to see a bunch of guys play, right? We want our mega monster mash unit to be able to go out there and maul everybody. We don't want to see anybody else, but in case somebody does have to fill in, we hope that they're capable. So I have no problem going O-line here. So that you guys decide, truthfully.
And Paul, your Goncalves can't play interior though. He's strictly a tackle.
He can play guard. He's huge. He's 6'6", 330. He's played right guard a little bit. But here's the thing: you got Nopum as your tackle depth. So if you do have interior depth, that keeps Nopum away from having to play inside and keeping him for your tackle depth if you need to. But
after that, what McClendon?
Yeah, after that, you're in dire straits.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, like, most likely the Rams would fill that spot with a veteran anyway. But you have to draft. To me, centers are like running backs. You got to take one every year because you need them, right? You need them, and the fact that kid can play 3 spots to me just makes him uber valuable.
Okay.
I'm going Hunter Norzad.
Okay, I'm on board with that. Tom, are you?
Yeah, 100%. That's my pick too. I think this is 5th round, right, Mark?
Yeah, we got back to back here too. We got the next pick as well.
Yeah, I mean that guy is. We got 2 picks here. Wow. Yeah. So I mean that guy is. He's rated in the kind of a 4th round guy. So I think that's a good pickup.
You okay with that, Ian?
Yep, like everything I said a couple minutes ago. I'm on board with that. We need people that can play and help out if needed.
Okay, that's the pick, and we have an immediately have the next pick, and we can go glamorous here. Let's look at our picks here. What do we have? We have edge, defensive line, safety, interior offensive lineman. So the top-rated guys.
That is such an anti-McVay draft, by the way, too.
I know, totally.
No bling for McVay right yet. No bling.
Yeah, there's no way that happens, truthfully. I mean,
but if you look at how much money the Rams have spent on offense, he really can't complain, right? Because what is it, like 75% of the salary cap is on the offensive side of the ball? It's bananas.
That's exactly right, yeah.
So if we go back to, Cam Hart's good, but I don't think there's really nobody here that's jumping off the page, right?
Yeah, the top-rated guys for the listeners are Cam Hart, the cornerback, Gabriel Murphy, edge, Jacob Cowing, wide receiver, Jarvis Brownlee, cornerback, and then Irving, the running back from Oregon, who I think we all like, right?
That's my vote. Bucky Irving's my vote, dude. I can't.
You like Bucky?
If that guy's still there in the 5th round, we got Kyron in 4 or 5.
I was the 5th.
Yeah.
5th round as well.
Yeah.
So, and the same argument that they're using on Bucky, they're saying he's too small, is what they said about Aaron Kyron.
Yeah.
That's the same thing they said about him.
I'm all about.
Okay, so we got to vote for.
By the way, Bucky can return kicks.
Yeah, there we go. We need that. I heard. I heard on the last pod you guys talking about the how it's going to be a running back kind of oriented, a running back that can break tackles that is going to be effective at that kickoff return.
And I'm in favor. And I'm in favor of Bucky. What's the one big reason why? Dude's only had 1 fumble in like 500 carries. Let's not act like that doesn't matter, right? We had the Cam Akers experience where he had a fumble issue. We've had other running backs fumble a ton. Kyron obviously had his one forever too. So we need people to protect the dang rock when they run the ball. And hey, for someone who is maybe not viewed as a receiving back, he does have good hands. He does run out of the backfield well and is able to catch. That's important for a McVay offense, right? And look, he's got a good elusive features based off the film that I've seen from him every now and then. Got a good spin move. And I just think he hits the whole downhill in a hurry, which Oregon runs a lot of gap scheme stuff too, right? It's not just a zone heavy like a lot of college offenses are. So I think for all those reasons, I mean, shoot, I think that pick makes sense.
And he ran everything out of the shotgun, right? Or the
we're gonna
spread.
run a lot of shotgun.
So,
That's just, yeah, we are.
he's familiar.
Pistol and shotgun goods, man. That's gonna be our offense. It feels like, and that's cool with me, as long as it's more pistol. But yeah, Paul.
And a lot of people overlook that when they look at running backs. It's like, what system are they coming from? Not everybody can run out of the shotgun. Not everybody can run out of the spread, right? Some are more traditional power backs. So yeah, I think he's a nice compliment to Iron Kyren. Iron Kyren, I think, is a little bit more of a black and blue runner, and I think this kid's got a little bit more sizzle to him. And listen, his size is not going to be a detriment because he's the RB2. He's not the RB1. Yeah. And listen, if anything does happen to Iron Kyren, then Bucky and Rivers are going to be the top dogs. So I'll run with Buck.
Okay, 3 for
Let's give the young Buck a try.
Yeah, man. Right. I mean, look at second team All Pac-12. I mean, he led the team in all the rushing yards.
And he can catch. He could definitely catch the rock. He can definitely catch the rock.
Hey, I mean, 6.3 yards per carry. That's nice. That's nice. And for the third pseudo 2 running back, I mean, that's cool because we always need bodies. Ronnie Rivers and Kyren got hurt last year. We need somebody.
That's right.
Insurance. Let's just keep it
okay.
Real. So, hey.
That's the pick. Then you guys have spoke.
There we go, McVay. There's your offensive player.
Yeah. So let's take a look at this again. We got the first 4 defense, then we went interior offensive line and running back. Ooh. I'm feeling a little bit better about things. We got the safety we needed. We stocked up on the defensive line, maybe address the edge. What have we not done? Tight end. We don't know when Hunter Long and or Tyler Higbee are coming back. A backup quarterback. Do we need one? Another tackle, linebacker. Just throwing some positions out there. Yeah. Now, we had said that we were going to take turns making picks from here. How do you feel about that? You want to do that, or you want to just press on like we've been doing?
Yeah, I like what we're doing.
Yeah, I think the community one, I think we're all coming to agreement. I think that's been working out not too bad.
Okay.
Working out good, I should say.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we're done. We're not drafting a second running back. We're not drafting a second safety, I would think. What do you want me to filter by any position here? We got Javon Foster, the offensive tackle. I'm sorry, let me go back to the selection. So what do we have coming up here? These are 6th-round picks, 196, 209, 213, 217. So we have 4 picks within 21 selections.
These are
196. Yep, 196 should be Bub Means, wide receiver from Pitt.
Wow,
that's my guy.
You just been waiting on that one, haven't you?
Is he there?
Bub Means is the third-rated wide receiver. I know you like wide receivers, Ian. Do you know much about him?
I've only a little bit I've heard from the Puka picks, but I need to watch more film of him for sure. I mean, that's just the truth, truthfully.
One thing I will say, Taj Washington, the more I watch that kid, I would love that guy. But, after everything we went through with our buddy Tutu, you're going to have to make room for him by ejecting Tutu, which is not a bad thing either. But I like that kid, Taj. I know a lot of USC fans want to see him play with the Rams, man.
Yeah.
Because he's a big favorite. A lot of USC fan base love this kid.
He can play for sure. I'm leaning towards him just based off everyone that's available, truthfully, for me.
Can you go back to all?
Ian, you said you're leaning towards Taj?
Yeah, at the moment, just based off what we're scrolling through right here,
All, there you are, Foster, Tracy, Simpson, Bell, Robinson.
Foster for the people is actually a good value here, too, at O tackle.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is
corner would be good value here. Wide receiver would be good value here. Even edge would be good value here.
I just think Tracy or Foster, is a really good value. And I think, I'm just looking at my notes. I think I mean, that's crazy value, right? I mean, he's kind of a fourth round guy.
Plays in the SEC.
So we're considering Javon Foster and the 2 wide receivers. Now,
If you go BPA, it's got to be OT. It's got to be the tackle.
Yeah, and I think Means is going to be there. We have a selection. We have 3 selections coming up. Taj, I'm not sure. We could miss out on him.
Yeah, I'm not.
But
I'm in agreement with the
you
big
still-
boys, man. That's no problem for me. Shoot.
I think
But
Javon.
we want to
Foster-
get an electric wide receiver just to have a young body coming in.
No,
So
no.
Are you
wide receivers
hedging?
flew off the board. I mean,
Are-
it's the committee vote at this point. So I think it's going to come down to Foster. That kid Tyrone Tracy was the one. If we didn't take Buck, Tyrone Tracy was that kid, 5'11", 210, former wide receiver, man. That kid is legit. But we already took our running back. So Jalen Simpson can play free safety or corner. He's a big playmaker too. He would be a nice fit for the secondary. Scroll down a bit. Bell is definitely not a good fit for the Rams. Layden Robinson, we have Mount McKinley, nice. Look at that. Yeah, that's what I see. I think we're good at D-line for now. I think it's going to come down to either Foster or we do get the wide receiver that we want.
Okay, so the receiver Washington or Means versus
the tackle
Foster. Now I'm going to chime in
Simpson,
here.
you mentioned Simpson. He's another good value at this.
Yeah, really good value.
This late. I mean, he's a fourth round guy too. And he can play safety and cornerback.
Washington versus Means. I think Means will be there a little bit later.
Yeah.
So let's just narrow it down to Washington and Foster.
Washington, Simpson, or Foster. Yep, Washington, Simpson, or Foster.
I'm going to say Foster. That'll be my vote. He was, first team All ACC. He started all his games, was a team captain. Rams love leadership, stuff like that. They like guys who have played a lot of football. I mean, he's been in college.
If he's there in the 5th round, I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in college since 2018. He's seen a lot, been through a lot, been a part of, the best conference, playing the best athletes. And I just think based off all that, I just think that pick makes sense. For that, what the Rams like, they like leaders. And then plus, we just need more depth at that whole group. So I think Foster just makes sense.
Okay. That kind of came together for us. It took a little while. Okay, Foster's the pick. And we're going to have another pick here real quickly at
this draft has a lot of beef on it, that's for sure. There is a lot of meat on the bone, which is a good thing.
What round is this?
We're in the 6th round. We have four picks in the next 3 picks in the next 8 selections, something like that.
I love it.
And we have not picked a wide receiver.
And
Taj is still there.
Oh, look at that.
Taj and Bub. And we got to defer to Ian here. Ian, do you want your wide receiver here?
I mean, I just think for the other purposes of, the things that football fans don't like to acknowledge is that, hey, man, when you draft players from the city that you're in, that's such a huge impact on the draw of the fan base to absorb more fans who were tweeners. Maybe you're a fan of a different team, but because you drafted their favorite player at their school that they love watching on Saturdays, right? I think that makes a huge difference. And not only that, Taj had great practice film when he was at the East-West Shrine Bowl, doing those weekly practices. Obviously, Rams love Senior Bowl guys, and that's important to them too. They take any practices against, an all-star game, an exhibition game seriously. Taj had great practices, had a great game. I think based off all that, based off his route running, I just think all that makes sense for why Taj should be the selection. You're killing a bunch of stones, a bunch of birds with one stone, excuse me. And I just think that's the way it's going to roll, truthfully. So, hey.
I'll quickly review the top guys on the board here. McKinley Jackson, Dwight McLaughlin, Gabe Hall, Jalen Ford, Eric All. But I kind of agree. I think we got to go. the Rams are probably going to go wide receiver much earlier than this, and the fact that we haven't yet, I think we need to. So I'm okay with Taj Washington. Any strong opposition to that, Tom or Paul?
You got one UCLA kid, one USC kid. The jersey sales alone will justify the pick. So,
that sounds good to me.
And listen, he's like I guarantee it. Tutu's going to get traded before we even. It's not on draft day. It's going to be by week 5.
Who's going to get traded?
Tutu's going to get traded.
Oh,
he has no value to the Rams in what he could bring over. Let's say, even if it is a late round pick or whatever it is, or to help move up or move back or whatever they want to do.
I think he's going to be a part of it.
He's going to be part of that package. So
we'll send Tutu and a 7th round pick for a 6th round pick or something.
Yeah, whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
And I think Taj is a smaller player, but he's different than most of the smaller players. So we do have 2 now on the roster. With Bucky's a smaller player. Now you got Taj as a smaller player. Todd doesn't fit the usual profile for the Rams, but I just think Taj has shown that he can play bigger than his size. He's not afraid of contact. Everything you watch on that kid, people love being around him. You could just see like all the fan excitement around him. Just shows you the kind of player that he is. I'd be okay with Todd, but Bub is my boy though. Bub from Pitt is my boy though.
He may still be there.
But I'll go with Taj though.
We can double dip. Let's see.
No,
we make that selection, and here we are again already. And we can go a lot of different ways here. We might consider cornerback and tight end, in my opinion. The highest rated guys, Gabe Hall.
Yeah, you definitely got to be corner.
Yeah, Gabe Hall, defensive line, Jalen Ford, linebacker.
You got B. Jackson, there's Brennan Jackson.
Yeah. Brennan Jackson there. And then 2 cornerbacks, Kalen King and MJ Devonshire. We haven't talked a lot about Kalen King, but we know we're pretty familiar with MJ Devonshire.
Yeah, Kalen King really fell off the cliff this year. Yeah.
What do you think? What are you thinking here, Tom? You haven't led the way in a bit.
Yeah, I was just looking at these linebacker. I mean, I'm just at this point in time, we do have to, we put off all these positions that we don't draft until the end. Well, we're at the end. So we do have to,
right.
We do have to.
It's kind of like fantasy football when you're like, oh my God, I don't have a kicker yet.
Yeah, I mean, right. So what do we have left? We have linebacker, which we do have a need for. So Jalen Ford would be a really good selection, in my opinion.
Bad idea. Yeah, I was thinking that too.
And we haven't drafted a cornerback yet, so we probably should think about that. And we've really shored up the offensive line. That we haven't drafted a quarterback yet, and I don't think we need to. But so if we go linebacker, as I think our number 1 need at this point, and then cornerback, that would be my take on it.
Okay, linebackers, we have Jalen Ford, JT Bertrand, Kalen DeLoach. Not familiar with any of them, a little bit of Ford. And then cornerbacks, Kalen King, MJ Devonshire, Cha Smith-Wade. Even Kamal Haddon is not a viable option too at cornerback.
A lot of people like that kid.
Can you go back to?
Yeah, and at this point, I think you don't worry about if a guy's going to slide or not. You just take the guy you want.
Can you go back to the linebackers real quick?
I'm sorry, linebackers. There you go.
Ford, Bertrand, DeLoach.
Yeah, Jalen Ford does well in coverage, dropping into coverage. He's a good coverage backer. The question on him was, does he play the run especially well? But, think about, we got Reader, we got Boom, you got Ernest Jones. So Jalen Ford just rounding out that room. I don't think Jalen Ford's a terrible pick. J.D. Bertrand is more of the classic middle linebacker type. He just does have good feel for space as well. Sermon is the classic coach's son kid, tough as nails, from Cal. Yeah. So I mean, Jalen Ford. It's between Jalen Ford and Bertrand, really. It's a matter of taste.
Can you go to the corners real quick again?
It was basically those top 3: King, Devonshire, and Smith-Wade, and
we're totally biased when it comes to corners at this point.
I'm going to click on tight ends real quick. I don't know if there's anybody here, Paul, that would be a good fit for this offense.
Barner would be a really good fit. Eric All he would have been ranked higher. He got hurt. He's coming off an injury. But Eric All gets a lot of accolades, ton of accolades. Tanner McLaughlin is a real under the radar tight end. He's got good offensive capability. Holker put on a show. I still can't figure out why he's at 200. This kid put on a show at the combine. Not the most physical player in the world, but I mean, that kid put on a show, man. He was catching everything. He was playing like his hair was on fire. So all Barner, McLaughlin, Holker, all great value there.
What are you thinking, Ian? Do you have a opinion at this point?
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I think maybe Jalen Ford, simply because of the need, right? Roseboom, even though I liked him, I thought he played well. So he's on a 1-year deal. When after that, we have a bunch of guys nobody on our fan base likes, even myself.
And Ernest Jones
on an expiring deal too. So
right.
I mean, that position needs to get addressed. I'm all in favor of Jalen Ford. I mean, hey, multiple year starter, right? Definitely is not the perfect inside linebacker. Of course, none of these guys are at this point in the draft. But I mean, I think he could play. I mean, he's played enough where he was on a really good competitive, defensive unit for the Texas Longhorns. So I just think,
he's that's the key.
And back to obviously my point of guys who have played a lot of meaningful football, played in big games, are leaders. Snead likes that. McVay likes that. I think they go for it because of all those reasons I said.
Yeah, he played behind Murphy and Sweat then, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Tom, you sounded like you were leaning towards Ford.
Yeah,
Ian's
no,
on board with it.
That's my pick.
So, you okay with that, Paul?
Yep.
You okay with that, Paul?
Yep. If it's defense, I'm on board.
We got our linebacker.
What an easy man to please. I dig it.
And let's go back to our selections here.
Shula's going to get locked out of the war room after this one. McVay's not going to talk to him after this draft.
So we went 4 defense, and then we flexed to offense, did 4 straight offense.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, those last 3 picks were all A pluses. So good job, guys.
Right on.
And then we went back to defense. We got 2 picks left, 217 in the 6th and 254 in the 7th.
It's got to be the other MJD here. It's either the other MJD. Yep. That's my guy.
Paul loves MJ Devonshire, adding to that cornerback room. I think adding one of these 2 picks has to be a cornerback.
I'm all about cornerback at this point.
Now, if you guys don't know about MJ Devonshire, Paul's the expert, but I just see him as a super feisty, competitive cornerback. You just watch him play, and he's just, I don't know, man. He looks like he plays cornerback like Puka plays wide receiver. Just kind of angry is how I saw him.
I mean, hey, Devonshire, second team All ACC, led his team with 4 INTs, played in every game. I mean, at this point, we're looking for guys who can play football, right? And based off Paul's conviction, based off Mark's conviction, based off everything I just said right now, I'm in.
Okay, Devonshire is the pick.
Yeah.
And we only have 1 pick left, guys, and you could go any way you want at this point. I know you're not on board for kicker, so we won't talk about it. But we should potentially consider tight end. I don't know if we're going to get someone that can really make this team and contribute at tight end. Who knows? But we could right now. We could potentially be opening day have Davis Allen, Colby Parkinson, and a couple of guys on reserve futures contracts. Maybe that's good enough. Maybe that's fine.
Did we draft a cornerback?
We just drafted MJ Devonshire, cornerback.
Oh, Devonshire, yeah, cornerback. Yeah. We just drafted.
But I was referring to the tight end situation.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But I don't know. None of these guys necessarily excite me. But I don't know much. I haven't dove this deep into the tight end group. So
Cope and Knox are big bodies, can block. Both are talented. Trey Knox is a beast, man. Physically, he's a beast. But not the traditional, downfield. But both the developmental projects, both are good players. So definitely.
Maybe we should just look. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say look at the all running back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Josh
So yeah,
Proctor.
the highest rated guys on the board for everybody. Yeah, we got.
Oh, there's
Watson,
Means. I think we go with Means.
Oh my goodness! Look at that.
2 wide receivers. All right, look at that. I like
Memes.
that.
I'm all in for Memes.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to go Pittsburgh to end the draft in honor of Aaron Donald.
Yeah, that would be awesome, right?
But
are you opposed to that, Ian?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, guys, the more wide receivers, the better because of all the reasons I stated earlier. Expiring contracts, health. I mean, he's a big dude.
That means we keep Trammell off the roster, right? So we get one of these guys going to get his spot. So
and look at it. Can we really evaluate Means, with whatever quarterback play for Pittsburgh, right? The drop off was significant.
Horrendous this year. Horrendous.
And I just think based off the production that he was able to accomplish, why not take a chance? Because hey, I believe in the Puka power picks.
So what if I took a moment to pound the table for the kicker there?
Which one?
Well,
the Alabama kid?
I'm just trying to start an argument.
Before you pick him, just want to know he went on record that he wants to get drafted by the 49ers. That's his favorite team.
I thought that was Josh Carty. Is that Carty? Or,
it was Hardy. Yeah, you're right. It was Hardy. Yeah, sorry. It was Hardy.
That's okay.
Kid from Stanford.
Yeah, there was an article. I did not read it. I'm really good at reading headlines, and there was an article on one of the sports websites about analytics making a strong argument for never drafting a kicker. So, so maybe you're right after all, Paul.
No, we got to call those USFL guys, the XFL guys, all those whatever league is going on. Those dudes are bombing 50-yarders every week. It feels like so. We'll save the draft. We'll save the draft picks.
I think didn't Reichard set the record though? Just interesting thing about this kicker. I think he set the record. Isn't he the NCAA record holder for field goals? Remember?
I wouldn't doubt it.
I know he set some record this year. I remember everybody was going nuts at Bama for this kid. But yeah, I believe you never draft a kicker.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, so is Means the pick then?
Means it is.
So.
Okay.
Two wide receivers in the latter rounds. There you go.
And there is our draft. And we got the edge rusher and 2 defensive linemen. I got to be thrilled with that.
Read them off one by one.
So at 19, we got Latu, the edge rusher out of UCLA. At 52, Chris Jenkins, a defensive lineman out of Michigan. 83, the defensive lineman out of Clemson, Rook or Horo. At 99, we got Cameron Kinchins, the safety out of Miami, to pair up with our other Cameron. At 154, we got Hunter Norzad, an interior offensive lineman out of Penn State, who provides depth at the 3 inside positions, really, right? At 155, Marquise Bucky Irving, right? That's what he goes by, running back out of Oregon. And at 196, more offensive line depth, Javon Foster, offensive tackle out of Missouri. And at 209, wide receiver Taj Washington out of USC. Keep him at home here. At 213, linebacker Jalen Ford out of Texas. At 217, we got the cornerback out of Pittsburgh, MJ Devonshire. And at 254, we got the wide receiver out of Pittsburgh, Bub Means. So
this is all to draw AD out of retirement. The last 2 picks.
We played that draft.
Yeah. I mean, if this go ahead, Tom.
No, I just think, if it even came close to if this was our draft, I might go into cardiac arrest. I'd be so happy.
Yeah,
this would be phenomenal, no doubt. Shoot.
And there are going to be Ram fans that see this draft and are going to be clamoring for, why didn't we go wide receiver early? Why didn't we get our offensive tackle early? And that's fine. You could do this. We could take another hack at this. We're not going to. We could take another hack. We've been taking all different hacks at this. All the examples are out there. Yeah. This is just another one.
And shoot, Mark, gentlemen, this isn't a scenario where there are no trades at all. We don't expect the Rams to be drafting straight up like this. That's probably more unrealistic than anything, right? But it all depends how that first round unfolds, and that'll determine
who
everything
drops.
of what they
Yeah.
how they handle that trade up, trade down, acquire more picks, which we're in favor of here. But in a universe where there are no Rams trades, Les Snead is patient. If this happens, this is an A+ all the way through.
And you could leave this intact and just circle Chris Jenkins and put in the X-Men. We all talked about it, right? The X-Men would make a lot of sense. Or if Keon Coleman, right? Ian and I have been talking about that. Casey and the Sunshine Band. If he falls down to the second round, which he probably will, right? And he's there, so you could circle Chris Jenkins and put that wide receiver in there. It's just a matter of
Hall's an option too. I like his film a ton.
So it all depends on how aggressive the Rams want to be in the early rounds to get their wide receiver. There was a really nice article written up about Matthew Judon over at Patriots, that he's being cleared, that his injury, I think it was either shoulder or bicep, has healed up. He's going to be ready for camp as a possible trade offer for the Rams. Rams could get him. I think his contracts. I when I was looking at the numbers, man, it's not that bad. I mean, it's up there. It's up there. It's like 13 mil, but
he's a beast, though, man. I don't think Gerard Mayo's going to want to be his first year running the team, and he's not going to have their best defensive player with them. But I like him here, no doubt, man. That's a Pro Bowl level edge rusher, man. Shoot.
So there's a lot going on. The Rams are sitting, like I said, in my opinion, the Rams are sitting pretty at 19. Any direction they go in, they're going to come out ahead right now. And all these mocks and everything else, the mocks, these draft engines do not do a good job in the latter rounds. You can see a lot of these players that we're seeing at 240. They're not going to be there at 240. These players are much better than that. They're going to be gone a lot sooner. But in the early rounds, they are in the ballpark, particularly round one, of how some of these players are going to fall. And particularly the logjam at wide receiver, the logjam at quarterback in round one is definitely going to help the Rams. No question about it.
Yeah, all these things are. So, Paul, you and Mark have done, extensive number of mock drafts, right? And so where does this one stack up?
I think this is a great one. This is, we have been standing pat for most of the mocks. We move up a lot based on, a lot of the fan requests. They'll say, can you, see how this plays out, how that plays out? And that's when we usually do. But when we've been standing pat, the best results have been when the Rams trade back and when the Rams stay pat in the first round. That's when you get the best results. Yeah. When you trade back, we usually wind up getting an extra third, and then maybe an extra sixth. But the Rams have so many picks. You could package those two. I've also played around with that 154, 155, packaging those two and jumping down into like a 115, a 116 right after that 99. And then everything after that 196 down is depth, and getting like 4 or 5 legitimate possible immediate contributors.
I think it's the Rams are going to end up with a 4th round pick one way or another. They have to really. And so I think if I was Les Snead, the strategy that I would prefer, again, it depends on what happens in front of you, is move back. And I talked about this last episode, I think last roundtable, move back to accumulate a couple extra picks, but then move back up. So you end up with, maybe you don't have a 1st round pick, but you have 5 picks in the top 100 or 120, something like that. I still don't think, trading back on the surface of it sounds great, but I don't think the Rams want to come out of this draft with another 14 players, though, is what I'm saying.
No need to.
Right. There's no need.
You want to get as many players in the top one, in my opinion, the top 125 as you could possibly get. And that's where the Rams, can really focus on specific players. There is not a lot of crazy depth in, like we've been talking about. We saw that with wide receiver, right? After a certain number, it plummets. And you see that at particularly edge. After a certain number, it just drops off. So if the Rams have their 2 or 3 favorite players they definitely want, which we won't know until draft day, right? And they earmark, that's what they usually do. They earmark the guys that they want, and they go out and make sure that they get them. Nobody picked Kobe Turner. Nobody did, right? That going that early to the Rams.
Wasn't on my radar.
Yeah, and Byron Young, the same thing. I mean, Byron Young was a good player, but they made a special attempt to get him, made sure that they got him.
And
so
I barely
that's a
knew
good
who
example.
I barely knew who Ernest Jones was.
Right from South, yeah.
So I just think in all reality, I mean, guys, during McVay and Les Snead's press conference, pre-draft press conference that happened earlier, Sean, there's a lot of joking around about how, hey, he's going to have his first round pick be able to really truly utilize, and how it's going to be offense. And he's like, yeah, I get excited about offensive players, but he's like, I get excited about defensive players too. But Les Snead immediately, chimed in and said, well, players who score touchdowns are important in this league. I'd keep that in mind. So for everyone out there who was hoping for some type of pass catcher, playmaker, tight end, or receiver,
maybe it's what's his name, Paul? Touchdown maker Baker?
Oh, Javon Baker?
Well,
I think that there's two things. The two things that stand out for me and why I think wide receivers in play. The one thing this offense struggled with was number one in the red zone, right? And I think having that, this league is a copycat league, and watching all these guys with the, going up and just, jump balls, being able to win those contested catches, that is the name of the game right now. And the Rams don't necessarily, they have that with Puka, right? But like I said, they use him in motion, blocking, and everything else. If they had that one young kid that they can say, listen, as you're learning your route running, when we get inside the 20, we're going to split you out there. We're going to throw it up there for you. I mean, Stafford would be grinning from ear to ear. Yeah. And I think that's what they're going to earmark. And the other thing is the Rams, McVay has been handcuffed. He has not been able, I've been saying it all month, he has not been able to go 4 wide with legitimate threats. Every time they went empty, Stafford almost got crushed. But if you got 4 legitimate receivers, right, and you got Aaron Kyren, the way he pass blocks and his blitz pickup, you can do that. If they can go 4 wide in addition to their 11 package, they are going to be deadly. And I think that's where McVay's head is at. He wants to be able to go 4 wide. He wants to be able to threaten downfield. He wants Stafford to be able to get those chunk plays. Stafford loves to stand back there, man. He will throw it downfield. He does not care. So I think that's where McVay's head is at.
I mean, hey, look they met with Ricky Pearsall, they met with Roma Dunze, they met with others in secret who we know that they did. And Les Snead's comments that I just mentioned, I mean, gentlemen, don't be shocked if those picks get packaged. I know Tom's probably like, no, we want this draft we just did to happen.
I love the favorite,
but man,
remember when Tom was left to his own devices and he walked away with 28 picks? Remember that?
Yeah.
That's right. The more the merrier, man. I was just so impressed with this last draft class that, where we just brought in all these guys and all these, the next thing you know, you just end up with a couple of thirds and you end up with obviously our second hit and our 2/3 hit. And then we got a fifth that was a home run. And, next thing you just start hitting these picks, and at some point in time, it is somewhat of a numbers game. So,
yeah.
And I'm not saying all those guys need to make the team like they did last year. 14 out of 14 made the 53. Like that was an all-time record, tied for a record. But that's not the goal, right? We just needed so many players last year to cut everybody. This year, that's not the case. But still, if you can just see who can play and get another 5 guys out of 11, 12, 13, whatever it is, that'd be phenomenal.
Yeah. No, I agree. And man, oh man, I'm excited to see how this unfolds, gentlemen. I mean, man, oh man. There's going to be people in the fan base who are going to be screaming in excitement in one way, and it's going to be the total pissed off, what are we doing, opposite way. No matter how this goes, right? We already know whether it's O-line. Oh my God, we have our starting unit. If it's wide receiver, we need defense. If it's defense, why aren't we getting more O-line to protect Stafford? We can go all the different, bubbles of branching off from this first round pick and beyond. Oh man, it's going to be fantastic to see. And, come visit me at the draft house. I'll be here.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think the bottom line for me is I have a lot of faith in Les Snead, and we could do this all day long. And Les Snead's whatever path he goes, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, see how it plays out. But we know who we like anyways at this point.
Yeah, just all I ask, Les, if you're listening, I know you read Reddit. If you're watching the mock drafts on YouTube, or, as you're going to sleep, the podcast on Rams Up, don't let any of your scouts jump in the pool after one of your picks. Okay? No more Logan Bruss celebrations.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think they learned their lesson.
That was definitely a curse.
Yeah.
Golly, yeah, we screwed ourselves big time. And Logan was a good player at Wisconsin. It wasn't like this was some scout that fought for some random player that nobody knew about. It just didn't work out, and that's the beautiful, sad reality of all this, right?
Logan's still on the roster.
No,
Logan's run is still on the roster, man.
No, look, shout out to him for persevering. But from day one, we saw him in horns suited up. It was bad. So we hope it turns it. We hope he turns it around. Yeah, but man, oh man, we just hope we get another good lottery ticket scratch of all these players, right? And last year was great. Let's see if we can keep that train going to win another Super Bowl. But man,
I can't wait to buy the Sione Vaki jersey in
I hope it happens in a late round for you, my friend, because I'd love to see that grin never end next time we link.
Yeah, well, thanks to doing this.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, thanks to doing all these with Paul, I've never been more prepared for an NFL draft. I feel like half these guys I could talk about a little bit.
Yeah. Mark did all the heavy lifting. He's the one that prepares everything, and then he sends me out the text, "Hey, you want to run?" I'm like, "Sure, let's do it."
Yeah, nothing like a mock draft on a Saturday morning on my second coffee, man. What else could I be doing?
You're ready to go.
Great. Well, it was great doing it with the whole crew today. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
I mean, that one. Guys, that one is best and as great as it possibly could have. I mean, shoot.
And we passed on Dallas Turner.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, real quick, all these moves, we're trying to win the championship, everybody, in the next 2-3 years. We're trying to get guys who can contribute now. And I get it. You might, and share your thoughts in the comments. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you're on YouTube. And we want to hear from you. What grade do you give us? A, B, C? I better not see any D's and F's in this draft, by the way, from you guys. But let us know, please, because I think this is an A draft at least.
Yeah. Hey, it's just like restaurant reviews. The people that love their meal don't write reviews. It's just the naysayers, and that's kind of what you get on YouTube, unfortunately. Hey guys, thanks a lot, man. This is fun, and just for your awareness, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do anything tomorrow night. I think we've posted enough. Thursday night, I may jump on and do an impromptu. I may even do a streaming bit or just a little recording. I know you guys may be busy, but if you see an invite, that's why. Jump on for 10 minutes if you want. Share your thoughts. If not, understood. But that's the plan for Thursday night. Hopefully, if the Rams make a pick, we'll talk about the pick. If they move back, we'll talk about what they're going to do in round 2. Something like that.
Perfect.
Okay, guys. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate your time.
Thanks. That was awesome.
All right.
That was awesome.
Ramley forever.
Yes, Ramley forever. And if you're in LA, I expect to see you at the draft party here at Hermosa Beach. Not too far away. It's not a super weekend. Traffic should be okay, everybody. Come out. Let's celebrate together for a great first round, no matter how it unshakes. It's going to be a blast. Come on, get your butts out here, LA fans.
Well said. Well said. Okay, guys.
One more of these. One more of these.
Yep, I need it.
One more.
Two more. Okay, guys. Thanks a lot. Out here.
Peace.
That's going to do it for this episode. Remember, you can reach us at ramsuppodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget about our YouTube channel. Our handle is at laramsup.com. Till next time, keep the horns up, stay safe, and have fun out there.